This is Satya Pradyuman of Cirrus Research. The latest issue of the briefing report is just out. The briefing report is a market outlook report. It reviews how the markets have performed and ties it back to key investment themes. The title of this month's issue is Market Outlook Now Hangs on Trade Optimism and Fed Action. What's clear in the opening week of April was a full-on correction was underway. The fears were really dual, one in the front of the tariff uncertainty, and in addition, a massive amount of pressure on the Fed. Some of those were alleviated within the first week or so, and as a result, we saw a massive resurgence. What is important when you look across markets and regions is that trade groups and baskets, as we measure them in terms of trade risk, they collapsed and at the same time recovered sharply. So what this is telling us is that the market, in terms of looking forward, is really hinging a lot of the equity valuation and direction on the fact that we are going to get a pretty positive resolve. This is constructive and yet a bit disconcerting if things don't play out. When we look broader at the market, what we also saw was a massive flight to leadership of the past. The AI themes were back in full swing within the middle of April. What you saw was NVIDIA rebounded, but all the other downstream plays rebounded. In fact, what's important here is to recognize that the downstream themes, which we are very constructive on, are effectively flat for the year, while NVIDIA is down about 19%. I think this is a big deal, and it does suggest that if there is some sort of marginal slowing due to this trade war, it could end up being a CapEx hit, but to some degree, the investment could broaden out, the AI investments could broaden out ongoing for the data centers, alternate energy, and software development. So something to think about as we go through these days and weeks. If you drill down a little bit further, what we also note is that the fundamentals on NVIDIA continue to decelerate. Not a bad thing considering how aggressive and frenetic the growth has been. But I do think that when you think about semiconductors and the degree of cyclicality it brings, it's pretty much the tip of the spear in a world where the economic growth continues to slow. Feel free to follow up with us with any questions. Thank you.